What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Leaks. And I'm gonna be honest, today's batch of leaks is not huge whatsoever. A lot of it's kind of a repeat of what we kind of already know, but I still thought it would have been a good idea to still talk about these brand new leaks that we got from the KC Cup, and that's why I'm making today's video. Nonetheless, even though today's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Leaks is very mediocre, as always, if you guys are excited and are looking forward to today's video, as always, be sure to go hit that like button down below in the video and subscribe to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. Road to 10,000 subscribers. Appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, of course, so you can wait to like and subscribe until you watch the whole video. Last thing to do, I will shout out and advertise and all that shenanigans, is that if you haven't checked out my latest video already, be sure to go check that out. It gives you guys a detailed tutorial on how to pre-order Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy, the Duelist Link Evolution early. If you guys are interested in that, please be sure to go check that out. Anyways, enough selling out. Let's go move on to today's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Leaks. So the first thing we're going to be talking about, and huge shout out to Korean Archive for posting this in my Discord. First thing we're going to be talking about is that we're going to get some retry packs or just sales soon in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I believe these are going to be dropping on April 10th. Yeah, I think it's the April 10th from what I, gathered. I'll give you guys some post-editing after this video is recorded, giving you confirmation on when this sale is happening. But basically, it's just when you open up like 10 packs or whatever, if you don't like what you got from those 10 packs after you buy the sale, you can actually redo it and try all those pulls that you just did. So for example, you opened up the 10 packs from that sale and got all rares, didn't like how that happened, you can redo the sale and then try to get some other cards and stuff like that. These sales are kind of mediocre. I still like the SR and UR guaranteed sales. I'm going to be honest, my recent UR and SR guaranteed sales that I've been doing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links have been cocking me so hard, and I haven't been getting what I want. So maybe these retry sales are what I need, and I know I'm going to invest into it because I still need a couple cards from the latest box as it is. So I'm definitely going to be going into this retry sale. That's for sure. I want to get a couple copies of Quick Draw, Synchron, Nitro War, etc., etc. So that's going to be a ton of fun. But yeah, retry sale coming out soon. Pretty cool. Next up, we're going to talk about this right here. So thank you, Cruz, for posting this in my Discord. I'm going to put this image or link in the description down below so you guys can check out all the brand new cards that we're going to be getting in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And honestly, there's not really much that we're getting in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links for new cards. It's just all we have confirmed is just some cards that we already knew from the previous upcoming updates about the Archfiend Commander and the legendary Exodia card. But we also have some other cards confirmed, which we're going to be talking about today's episode. But huge shout out to Cruz for posting this in my Discord. You guys can go check it out for proof and stuff like that too. And then also, as you guys can see, we have this epic Yami banner. And as you guys can see, we have the Archfiend card right here. We have the Exodia card, and then we have the Aqua Medora card, which is pretty cool. First up, we're going to talk about Archfiend Commander yet again, just in case if you didn't watch my upcoming updates video, or you just want to get caught up on this, because it's been a little while since my upcoming updates video. And anyways, we're going to go take a look at it right here. So Archfiend Commander is a 6-star Fiend Effect monster. If you control an Archfiend card, you can special summon this card from your hand, but it cannot attack this turn. You only can special summon an Archfiend Commander once per turn this way. When the special summon this way, target an Archfiend monster you control, destroy that target. When this card is tribute summoned, you can target a level 6 Archfiend monster in your graveyard, special summon the target in face-up defense position. So I have my phone right now, so I can give you guys some reference on a couple cards that you can use really well with Archfiend Commander. One card that you can use, of course, is this one on my phone right here, Archfiend Emperor, the First Lord of Horror. This card's going to combo really well with Archfiend Commander because of the fact that you can normal summon this card by without tributing, but its attack and defense will get half. That combos really well together with Archfiend Commander because you normal summon this Archfiend Lord of Horror and then special summon Archfiend Commander afterwards. Another card that you're going to want to run a lot is, of course, Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted is also a really good card to really get the synergy going. So Archfiend Commander, Call of the Haunted, the First Lord of Emperor are going to work like bread and butter, and you're going to be able to see some sick shenanigans. If I had all these Archfiend cards, which I don't, I only have a few copies of each of these cards, but if I did, I would consider making an Archfiend Commander video. I don't really know if I am going to do that though, but I think for anybody that is a fan of Archfiends, I feel like teching in one of the 2 copies of Archfiend Commander is pretty cool. There's probably some other Archfiend cards that I haven't took a look at in this list, but just a couple of ones that I wanted to talk about real quick. It's called the Archfiend and, of course, the First Lord of Horror, because I think those 2 are going to be pretty obvious but good targets to combo with your Archfiend Commander. Next up, the next card I'm going to be talking about is the legendary Exodia Incarnate, and I'm honestly looking forward to this card. Like, I can't wait to try this out with Yami Yugi, or yeah, not Yami Yugi, but Young Yugi, because the only way you're going to be able to use this card effectively is if you use Grandpa's cards, which is from Yu-Gi-Moto. Nonetheless, though, let's get a reminder on this card. This is a spellcaster / effect, cannot cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by your hand from your hand by attributing one Forbidden One to monster, and it cannot be special summoned by any other ways. This card gains 1,000 attack for each Forbidden One monster in your graveyard. It is unaffected by other card effects. Once per turn during your end phase, you can add a Forbidden monster from your graveyard to your hand. Once cards destroy a balance in the graveyard, you can reveal any number of Forbidden One monsters, and if you do, you can draw a card for each. This card's sick. Honestly, I can't wait to play Exodia decks because what's cool about this card, in my opinion, is the fact that you can use Exodia to your advantage. There's a lot of cards in the game that, one, you can cycle back your Exodia pieces from the graveyard, add back to your hand. There's a lot of combos that you can do just in general by, basically, like, I know one popular Exodia deck is, like, Treasure Panda. With Treasure Panda, you can just, special summon one of the Exodia monsters, and then you use other cards to get rid of those Exodia monsters to special summon to draw some cards. I think that's pretty cool. And the one thing I think is pretty cool that this deck is just going to work well, where you can win with Legendary Exodia Incarnate because it gains attack for each Forbidden One monster you have, but in your last resort, if you don't have all the cards that you need, you can basically win with Exodia, which is pretty cool. I am honestly really looking forward to everybody using the Legendary Exodia Incarnate with combos and stuff like that, and I can't wait to see what the community makes, and I'm going to be sure to make a video on what I can discover and try out with the Legendary Exodia Incarnate, because this card's looking hype. Next card we're going to be talking about is Aqua Vendora. This one is just going to be like a rare card or something like that, and it is just a 4-star monster. It has 2,000 defense, 1,200 attack. Nothing too crazy right there, but I thought it would have been interesting to talk about, and it is one of the new cards that is advertised from the Epic Yu-Gi event. That's pretty much it for the Epic Yu-Gi event. There's not really that much new to talk about. I think there was like one last card I actually didn't talk about, and I'll pop it up on the screen right now, but it's just another vanilla monster that's not really too worrisome about. Now let's go on to the next part of today's leak video. So the next part of today's video, I'm going to be talking about some brand new items that have recently got data mined from the latest update, and we have a couple things to talk about, and this is mostly just speculation on guessing on what these items are correlated to whatever event. First one that's pretty interesting is that we have the Vestiges of the Dark Signer. I think that's how you pronounce it. I actually have the word pulled up on Google, and it's pronounced like this without the S.
Vestige.
Vestige, but I don't know, Vestiges or something like that. Nonetheless, though, this is pretty interesting because the word vestige actually means it's a trace of something that is disappearing or no longer exists. So the fact that it's like Vestige of the Dark Signer is kind of hinting towards, well, of course, one, we might get a Dark Signer event too, and just two, it's kind of interesting to figure out like what's the name of this item and stuff like that. But it sounds like that these Dark Signers might be appearing and disappearing, reappearing as the events go on, which kind of makes sense because at the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, when these Dark Signers were first getting introduced, they're kind of all secretive and they didn't really want to be known right away with their plot. So I guess that makes some sense, but it's cool that we have that Dark Signer item. Next up, we have something called an EX Draw and EX Summon. This has been speculated to probably be new crystal items that we can use in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links alongside with the extra card crystal, the EXP crystal, so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool right there. Next up, we have the Earthbound Immortal Appearance Spot. Not really too sure what this is about, but maybe it's just something to do with the Dark Signer event coming soon. You know, that's kind of obvious, but maybe this is a Kallen item that you can use, and once we have Kallen as a gate duelist in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, we can activate this Appearance Spot and maybe make him show up in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I really don't know, but it's cool that we have this Earthbound item anyways, because it is, of course, hinting towards Earthbound Immortals coming into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Next up, we have Dual Mode Riding Duel, and maybe this item is for going against Jack Atlas whenever you want when it comes to turbo dueling, because before in his previous in the previous Jack Atlas event, what was with Jack is the fact that one of the special things they did was turbo dueling, and he would randomly appear to turbo duel. Maybe Dual Mode Riding Duel is an item that you can use now to enter into the turbo duels right away. And by the way, Riding Duel and turbo duel are the same thing. It's just that in the Japanese sub of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds they call it Riding Duels. Last but not least, we have Extra Deck Limit Plus. This was something that was confirmed in the previous upcoming updates thing, but it's cool that we actually have this item in the game now. Hopefully this is like a permanent item thing where once you obtain the item, you get an extra deck slot in your deck. So instead of having 5 extra deck cards, you can have 6. We don't know exactly what's going to be popping yet, or at least I don't know currently, but it's still interesting to talk about nonetheless. Next up in today's leak video, we're going to talk about some brand new skills that got leaked recently, and these new skills are going to be for the tag duel event. The first one we're going to talk about is Witnessing Earth-Shattering Power. When your tag points are 2,000 or less, your partner Jack Atlas will summon 1 Red Dragon Archfiend on the field. This skill can be used once per duel. Pretty cool. This is confirming that we're going to be getting a Jack Atlas Cup in the next tag duel event, and that's pretty cool right here. Next up, we have a pretty interesting one from Chaj, and this is one that is called the Fusion of Destruction and Creation. When your tag points are below 2,000 or less, your partner Chaz Princeton will summon 1 Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon on the field. The skill can only be used once per duel. Now, what's interesting about this Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon is that this card has actually not been in a Duel Links yet, at least to my knowledge. So let's go take a look at what this card is all about. So this is going to be the first time I'm going to be reading this Armed Dragon Catapult Dragon's effects, but this card is a doozy. Anyways, though, this is a 10-star light machine fusion effect. It takes V, W, X, Y, and Z, Dragon Catapult Cannon, plus an Armed Dragon level 7. Must be special summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above cards you control and or in your graveyard while you special summon the above cards previously in this duel. You do not have to use polymerization. Your opponent's cards with the same name as this banished card and their effects cannot be activated. Once per turn, quick effect, you can banish a card from your deck or extra deck, banish all cards your opponent controls and in their graveyard. Wow. I do not want to go against this, that's for sure. This card is actually kind of crazy, if I'm being honest, and maybe there's a reason why we don't have this in Duel Links already, but it is cool that we're going to be able to try this out once the Tag Duel event comes out. But yeah, that card is kind of crazy and kind of OP, but at the same time, it is way too tedious to summon. So good thing we can just easily do it through a skill in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now, the very last thing that I'm going to talk about in today's video is this leak right here. One of my homies in my Discord posted this screenshot from a guy called Devin and Chris. Now, I'm going to keep aware with you guys. This is not confirmed at all when it comes to the leaks. This is not from Duel Links Meta. This is not from any other like leak places that I have seen before. But basically what this is talking about is that one, the new cards we talked about earlier in this video is one of the new things in Duel Links. And then one thing that is interesting to me is that there's cards with new rarities. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because of a couple of things. So while this is not confirmed at all that we're going to be getting any of these cards with new rarities, I hope that this is true and that this is hinting towards that we're going to be getting a Black Rose Dragon mini box or main box very soon. So none of this is confirmed at all if we're going to be getting these cards with new rarities, and if this even happened in the first place. I probably should have double checked with like Brad or something like that to talk about this first, but like I said, this is just completely speculation and this segment of the leak video is not confirmed to be true. Anyways though, if I could remember correctly, like I was really trying hard to find when I've seen something like this before, but I remember a while back there was a bunch of cards that recently got changed up in the data mines where a bunch of new rarities were changed around with like quick cards like Quick Draw Synchron, Cobalt Hedgehog and stuff like that. Cards like those that were released in the previous main box got their rarities updated in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because a lot of the cards from the last main box, keep in mind, were actually cards that were already in Duel Links and Yusei was using them in his NPC deck. So what I'm hoping for is that with this card's new rarities change is that this is hinting towards that we're going to be getting a Black Rose Dragon box in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links either in the next mini box or main box coming at some point. That's what I'm hoping for when it comes to this list, and there's that right there. Anyways, so cards like Blue Rose Dragon, Copy Plant, Black Stone of Legend, cards like those kind of pop my eye when it comes to these, you know, new cards right here, or these like changes and stuff like that. But I don't know, hopefully this is something that's true and that this is hinting towards a new main box for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Well, that's going to be it for today's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, Duel Leaks, and stuff like that. Actually, now thinking about it, I remember someone in my comment section last time asked me to call these Duel Leaks, so there you go, homie. So, thank you guys for watching today's leak and speculation video. I appreciate it. If you guys watched the end of this video and haven't already, be sure to go hit that like button on the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. I got some spicy stuff coming soon, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Other than that, though, thank you for watching, and I'll go see you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh! video. Peace.